What's up, guys? Your boy, 20K13. Going to talk about 10 compelling pieces of evidence that prove wrestling is worse than it's ever been. And this comes from WhatCulture.com. To many long-time wrestling fans, it's obvious that WWE and therefore the wrestling business is at one of the lowest points in history. Attendance is down all over the country for all events. TV ratings have gone down to their lowest point in nearly 20 years. In mainstream acceptance of wrestling, and wrestler is non-existent. Since WWE is a monopoly, they reflect the wrestling industry in North America. Fans of TNA and Always can pretend that their promotions matter, but they are essentially independent companies with television exposure. For better or worse, WWE is the reflection of the wrestling business, and their business is in the toilet. Wrestling fans almost exclusively under the age of 25 defend the product to the bitter end because, quite honestly, they have never seen great wrestling. Their only exposure to the product is the WWE monopoly and all the problems that come with that. The bottom line is that the wrestling business is down, really, really far down, but has it reached its nadir? Is this the worst state of the business in history? Let's find out. Number 10. TV ratings are down. On May 10, 1999, Monday Night Raw received the highest rating in WWE history. It was the pinnacle of the Attitude Era with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and Vince McMahon participating in the main event. The episode earned an 8.1 rating and the equivalent of approximately 9 million people watching the episode. That show was followed the next week by the highest rated segment in the company's history, which earned an 8.4. A little over 15 years later, WWE has been setting records again, but this time they are in the opposite direction. The September 28, 2015 episode of Raw drew an average of 3.3 million viewers, the lowest non-holiday rating for the show since 1997. In the past 15 years, WWE has succeeded in chasing away 6 million viewers from their show. That means more people used to watch wrestling than actually watch it today. WWE and its defenders are quick to point to Monday Night Football as a reason for their low rating, but hasn't WWE dealt with football every single year since 1993? As for our other promotions, TNA always barely counts considering their shows drew 275,000 viewers and 127,000 viewers respectively. Number 9. Attendance is down. WWE defenders are quick to argue that TV ratings don't matter because WWE doesn't receive ad revenue. They are just paid by the USA Network to produce television and receive that money no matter what. Okay, fine. Then what about live event attendance? It's easy for wrestling fans to turn on a television and watch a show, but it takes much more commitment to actually pay money to attend a live event. However, we're not talking about the 1980s here, when Vince McMahon was running almost 1,000 live events every year. The 80s were a different time when the main cash flow of a promotion came through live event attendance. Today, it's through television. However, live event attendance is a great indicator of a company's health. At the height of the Attitude Era in the late 1990s, WWE was averaging nearly 10,000 fans per event and was selling out all over the country. Obviously, that indicated a surge in interest, and that was reflected in television ratings. Today, WWE averages around 5,000 fans per live event, which is half of what that was drawn 15 years ago. This also is reflected in the television rating. Making matters worse is TNA, who routinely draw houses so embarrassing that the internet has a field day spreading the picture around. A house show in Beckley, West Virginia drew between 200 to 300 fans, or about the attendance of your average wedding. Number 8. Zero mainstream acceptance. Professional wrestling had always been the outcast of television. Other legitimate sports only acknowledged its existence when forced to by the public, pressure, or because of a surge in popularity. It was a reflection of the popularity of wrestling to the casual television viewer, someone who wasn't a hardcore wrestling fan. In the 1980s, Hulk Hogan was everywhere. He appeared on The Tonight Show. Regis and Kathy Lee, Arsenio Hall, appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated and hosted Saturday Night Live alongside WrestleMania tag partner Mr. T. In the 1990s, it was The Rock and Steve Austin who made the round on the talk show circuit. They appeared on various late-night talk shows, hosted Saturday Night Live, starred in some movies, and were interviewed by Howard Stern. You saw Austin 316 sign at NFL games, heard other celebrities ripping off The Rock catchphrases, and saw merchandise everywhere. In present day, is there anyone who has been accepted by mainstream culture? Ask a random person on the street to name a professional wrestler, and I guarantee you they say either Hogan, Flair, Austin, or Rock. You might get a few who say John Cena, but doesn't even come close to the level of fame of his predecessor. A way to test wrestling popularity is to answer this question. Is it cool to wear a wrestling t-shirt? In the 1990s it was. Today, absolutely not. Number 7. Lack of competition. Before the WWF takeover in the 1980s, wrestling had dozens of territories around the country that served different regions and allowed wrestlers to move around, learning different styles and working different crowds. This competition pushed promotion to produce different and exciting products, allowed wrestlers to avoid becoming stale, and gave fans alternatives. Even in the 1990s, wrestling fans could choose between the WWF, WCW, or ECW. All three companies provided star power and drastically different styles that were a breath of fresh air to fans. In present day, there is no competition. WWE is a monopoly no matter what TNA fanboys tell you, and promotions such as Evolve, ROH, and Lucha Underground serve niche audience and are completely off the radar of a casual fan. This lack of competition has hurt fans and wrestlers. The fans have no alternative and no way to vote with their money. If they don't like WWE, the only alternative is to not watch wrestling. Wrestlers used to be able to jump from promotion to promotion for a better payday, but now, if you fail in WWE, you essentially blackballed from wrestling. Your only alternative as a wrestler is to go to TNA, but seriously, how much longer is that going to last? Number 6. The television is terrible. Since WWE is a monopoly and since they have the only television show that anyone consistently watches, the TV quality is a reflection of the wrestling business for better or worse. Lately it's been for worse. Since the move to a 3-hour running time, Raw has become one of the most boring and uneventful wrestling shows in history. You could honestly grab 2 random Raw episodes from the last 5 years, and aside from a slight change in roster, you wouldn't be able to tell what year it was. The main event scene hasn't changed in years, and Raw itself suffered from a soul-crushingly boring booking model where every wrestler had a .500 winning percentage and the same people win the big matches. Amazingly enough, people were originally excited for the move to 3 hours. Fans thought they would be getting 20-minute matches between Cesaro and Tyson Kidd along with a longer show necessitating the purchase of new stars. Actually, we got the total opposite. Instead of filling the show with actual wrestling, WWE now filled it with pointless backstage segments, 15-minute promos, not so subtle advertising, and countless rematches. This is shown each week when Raw ratings are released. Ratings decrease as the show goes on, with the audience clearly getting bored and channel surfing for alternative programming. When you add that to SmackDown, Tough Enough, NXT, ROH, and TNA, there's simply too much wrestling on television for a product that is not at its nadir. Number 5. Wrestlers are losing money. The other downside to a monopoly in the wrestling business is a lack of opportunity for the actual worker. Wrestlers used to be able to bounce from territory to territory and have promotions actually bid for their service. At the height of the Monday Night War, businessmen were forced to give out guaranteed contracts instead of tokens. I don't give contracts, I give opportunity lines. It allowed wrestlers to have some sort of financial guarantees for the first time in their lives, but now that's all gone away. In 2014, WWE salary structure was leaked online and wrestling fans got their glimpse in what their heroes on television were actually taking home. Some salaries like those for The Rock, Undertaker, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar were not surprising because they are established main event guys, the equivalent of being a made man in the mafia. However, the salary of some younger mid-card wrestlers was shocking to those who weren't in the know. Wrestlers are technically not employees of WWE. They are considered independent contractors who don't receive money for food, accommodation, or travel. That means that wrestlers are on their own when it comes to road expenses while traveling around the country. Take Jack Swagger, for instance. He is making about $75,000 per year as a member of the WWE roster, which initially sounds like decent money. However, once you add up hotel, meal, and various other expenses, you're talking about a figure much lower. Developmental guys have it even worse, with most of their contracts coming in around the $25,000 mark for two to 3 years. Number 4. Refusing to change with the time. For a company who claims to listen to their fans and work tirelessly to give them what they want, WWE is sure slow to change with the time. This should not come as a surprise. Actually, the wrestling business is notoriously stubborn, beating old tricks to the ground again and again until it becomes obvious they don't work anymore. Wrestling was extremely popular in the 1980s, but by the turn of the decade, the business had become, as Paul Heyman would say, the equivalent of hairband. Sure, they were popular at one time, but now were uncool and lame. Wrestling went through that down period, playing to smaller and smaller crowds, until Heyman gave birth to ECW, a completely different take on professional wrestling. Instead of muscle-bound superhero who told you to train hard and take vitamins, Heyman presented wrestling as a battle between two tough men who just wanted to fight. He brought the 1990 attitude into wrestling, making wrestlers talk more realistically and presenting a level of violence and not seen outside of Japan. It didn't gain mainstream acceptance until the WWF blatantly stole their ideas, toned down the violence, and as a result experienced their best period in history. In present day, WWE has gone back to the kid-friendly product from the mid-1990s that sells a lot of action figures and toys but doesn't equal television ratings. The rise of UFC and MMA in general has necessitated a change in how WWE and wrestling in general present a product, but the industry has yet to fully embrace that change and is hurting them financially. Number 3. Pay-per-view is dead. Once a huge source of revenue for the business, the wrestling pay-per-view industry has been killed off and the murderer was World Wrestling Entertainment. With the launch of WWE Network, the largest company in the world started to provide their previously costly event at the price of only $9.99 per month. Amazingly, they then mocked fans on television who stupidly paid $50 for an event when they could subscribe to the network instead. Not only did that action single-handedly kill WWE pay-per-view business, it instantly devalued events like Hell in a Cell, Night of Champions, Elimination Chamber, and the other B shows that fans perceived as important because they were pay-per-view. Now they essentially are raw episodes with only slightly less talking and backstage nonsense. WWE likes to claim that the pay-per-view business is dying and that their company is simply ahead of the curve. Floyd Mayweather proved that was 100% untrue by drawing a mind-boggling 4.4 million buys for his fight against Manny Pacquiao. The UFC Golden Boy, Conor McGregor, drew over 1 million buys with his last fight. WWE may very well be ahead of the curve by embracing streaming for its event, but it's unnecessary to kill off a revenue stream early by asking fans to pay less money for products and then making fun of them for not doing it. Number 2. Same people on top. Nook. Nobody loves The Rock more than me. No one was a bigger wrestling fan during the Attitude Era than me. No one cheered Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair louder than me during the 1980s. But guess what? It's over. For too long, WWE and TNA have been putting the same faces on top of their promotion. These wrestlers are long past their prime as performers and drawing tickets, meaning that fans are bored of seeing the same people fight for the same titles night after night. Turn on an episode of Raw and you're sure to find John Cena sniffing around the main event, Randy Orton wrestling someone he wrestled 60,000 times before, in a 1990 nostalgia act like the New Age Outlaw or Sting limping to a victory over a younger performer. TNA signed every ex-WWE wrestler they possibly could and then put them to the top of their promotion. Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Booker T, Mick Foley, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Ken Anderson, etc. all went to TNA and were instantly put in main event slots even though crowds stopped buying tickets to see them years ago. The reason this happened is that WWE and the wrestling industry in general have failed to create new stars. Speaking of that, and number 1, failure to create new stars. Seriously, who is the last star that WWE created? Daniel Bryan? No. WWE did everything they possibly could to keep Bryan in the mid-card and only gave them a title run to stop fans from hijacking their show every single week. Then, after his injury, they quickly shuffled him back down. CM Punk? Maybe, but that was once again the fans rallied around an independent darling because of his awesome work rate and promo skills. He was still forced to take a backseat to John Cena, even when he held the title. Kevin Owens, yeah, for about a month until he jobbed to Cena 2 times in a row and immediately got sent back to the mid-card because he fat and wrestled in gym shorts, so obviously he could never get over or be a credible champion. Bray Wyatt, the crowd loved him, but he loses all the big matches. Roman Reigns, maybe in a few years, but definitely not yet. Crowd don't like it when you shove someone down their throat. That leaves the same old crew of John Cena, Kane, Big Show, Triple H, and Randy Orton occupying the main slot. Hold on. Even Seth Rollins, WWE World Heavyweight Champion, is perceived as a joke because he's jobbing to John Cena in matches for the United States title. Read that again. The World Champion is losing to the United States Champion on a consistent basis. All of the new guys aren't taken seriously because no one gets a solid push anymore. They all trade wins back and forth for weeks, have 20 rematches, and then WWE shake its head and wonder why no one can get over. The whole model needs to change if WWE and the wrestling industry as a whole wants to change its future. Whether it guys like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.